Interesting facts about the Bible, part 105. Did you know that there was more than one type of Sabbath, or Shabbat as we say in Hebrew? If we go to Leviticus 23, it says what the weekly Shabbat is. Work may be done for 6 days, but the seventh day is a Shabbat of solemn rest, a holy convocation, which means a meeting. People come together, a gathering. You are to do no work. It is a Shabbat to Adonai in all your dwellings. So everybody takes a day of rest and comes together and worships God. But there are 7 high holy days, also called Shabbat. We see if we keep going, the feast of Passover is also called Pesach, is a high holy day, which is a Shabbat. Verse 7 says, on the first day you are to have a holy convocation, and you should do no regular work. So this is Passover, and then the Feast of Matzot as well. That's the Feast of Unleavened Bread that comes with Passover. We often combine those into one because the first day is Passover, and then the rest of the week is the Feast of Matzah. And there is a high holy day on each one of these holidays. Then we have HaBikurim and Shavuot. These are also Shabbats. Here in verse 11 it says, to be accepted for you on the morrow after the Shabbat, the Kohen is to wave it. So this day is called a Shabbat or Sabbath. Notice it says here in verse 14, it is a statute forever throughout your generations. So this is something to be kept for all times. And then for Shavuot, this is where you're supposed to count down from the Shabbat of HaBikurim all the way to Shavuot, 50 days, and this is also the day of Pentecost. So all of the things that Yeshua did and fulfilled, all were according to holidays, high holy days that God already gave us. HaBikurim is the day that Yeshua rose from the dead, the first fruits. It's why Paul calls him the first fruits of the resurrected. So all 7 of those high holy days, those feasts we're supposed to keep forever, is Passover, the Feast of Unleavened Bread, Feast of Weeks, Feast of Trumpets, Day of Atonement, which is Yom Kippur, and Feast of Tabernacles. So in Colossians 2:16, when Paul says, therefore do not let anyone pass judgment on you in matters of food or drink or in respect to a festival or new moon or Shabbat, he wasn't talking about whether you celebrate Shabbat on Saturday or Sundays. He was talking about how the Jews kept 2 different calendars, and sometimes more, but mainly 2 separate calendars where they would argue over which dates to keep the holidays. And so, don't judge anyone by which calendar, which Shabbat they choose to keep.